Good morning, beautiful people. Uh, Happy belated 4th of July. Hey, listen, this morning I'm going to be reading a little bit of what I got off from Justin Lum's. He's stationed in Phoenix, Channel 10, I believe. I got it off from his Facebook page, but there's a warning. Not all of the papers or documents provided. He has seemed to have taken bits and pieces. And when I say bits and pieces, it could be a paragraph, it could be a one-page document, it could be a line or two. So if it sounds very disjointed to you, it should, because it is Justin Lum's documents that he put on his Facebook page. And he, again, has put just bits and pieces. So whether that's all he was provided, if they redacted a lot of the information, but it's about Melani Boudreaux Pawlowski's family court case in Gilbert, Arizona area. So I'm going to look it up. Yeah. And the first page that I have, good morning, everyone, just to say good morning. What a beautiful morning. Last night it thunderstormed. So that was our real 4th of July. Instead of extreme fireworks, we had extreme thunderstorms. Okay, so this first document is Melani Boudreaux, Brandon Boudreaux as the petitioner and Melani Boudreaux as the respondent. And it's an affidavit of Detective Ryan Pillar of the Gilbert Police Department. So again, an affidavit is something that the police have evidence to support their affidavit. So this is what he says, or this is the start of the affidavit. Ryan Pillar, having been first duly sworn upon, with states as follows. I am a detective with Gilbert Police Department, badge number 3451, and am assigned to the criminal investigation relating to the attempted murder of petitioner Brandon Boudreaux. I am providing this affidavit at the request of the petitioner's counsel in lieu of testifying at the hearing scheduled for July 1, 2020 in the above referenced matter. And let me see what it says here. Okay, because there's many papers. It's not, as I said before. Okay, it's not clear, but I'm going to try my best to read the next document. Melani Pawlowski is a person of interest in the investigation to the attempted murder charge, or attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux. Okay, let me see if that follows that paper evenly. You guys, it's not me, it's how Justin posted these documents, and he posted them, Justin Lum from Phoenix 10, and he posted them in bits and pieces. So nothing is going to be congruent. And then this particular document that he posted is all fuzzy. So no matter if I make it larger or make it smaller. It does not unfuzz it. So it's how he took the picture. These are pictures that Justin Lum put on his Facebook page. But I think I read, okay, in October 2019, Mr. Boudreaux was informed that blank, blank, blank to be addressed. It doesn't matter. Whatever else it says on this one court affidavit page, the most important thing that can come out of this page, of course, like I said, it's all fuzzy. Melani Pawlowski is a person of interest in the investigation of the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux. Now, remember on a lot of her interviews, she said that she didn't even know if there was an actual shooting. Well, this is my opinion. There's an actual shooting if the police are investigating it. They would not be investigating which they would think would be a false shooting. Just like they wouldn't be investigating when Alex Cox murdered Charles Vallow if they thought that it was a self-defense shooting, as Alex claimed. So here we are, guys. We're going to refute what Melani said on her interviews, where she told the public many times in her severely twisted way that she doesn't even know if there was a shooting. This seems, her words were similar to this. She said, I'm not even sure if that event happened. She was implying that Brandon Boudreaux was making the shooting event up for court custody purposes. And I will say back to the world that it's another Cox twisted story. The Cox always turn around. They're twisted people, and they always turn around the facts and the deviant facts, which deviant would be shooting at Brandon. Doesn't matter who you are and why you're shooting at him. It's a deviant act. We know that the deviant acts come from the Cox, and every time they say there's a deviant act, they dismiss it as just fluff, just media fluff. Oh, they can't believe it. They couldn't believe Alex could be the killer. They couldn't believe that Lori was involved and might have been the killer of her two children also. So again, they're dismissing these paperworks because they don't want to admit these paperworks do exist. So that was Ryan Pillar, the detective in Gilbert, Arizona Police Department, saying a very bold statement that she is a person of interest. Melani Boudreaux Pawlowski, when Brandon got shot at, you have to remember this fact. They were still legally married. They did not get divorced. Their divorce did not go through until a couple of weeks later. And then a couple of weeks later from that, she married Ian Pawlowski, as do all these people in the cult. Okay, so I'll read on. So that's the big statement there. Let me see if I can read. I think this is Lum. He might have been paraphrasing. So this could be Lum's word. And it could be Pillar's words. I'm not sure. Again, this is bits and pieces. Detective Pillar states in his affidavit that the mother is a person of interest in the investigation related to the attempted murder of father. So that's Brandon Boudreaux, and that the investigation is ongoing. So that clarifies it for Melanie. She has said there's no investigation and that she didn't believe there was an event. Detective Pillar also states in the affidavit that on October 16, 2019, mother contacted him regarding her children and that she did not contact him again after this date with respect to her children or to request his assistance in locating her children. Okay, Rob H. Wood, Madison County prosecutor, who has been appointed as the special prosecutor to investigate and prosecute the charges against Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell, has indicated to father that mother is a person of interest in the other multiple felonious acts, including the missing children, both now confirmed deceased. I'm going to read that. That's a pretty telling paragraph off this court document. Rob H. Wood, Madison County prosecutor, who has been appointed as the special prosecutor to investigate and prosecute the charges against Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell, has indicated to father. So he has spoke to Brandon Boudreaux or communicated with Brandon Boudreaux that mother, so Melani Boudreaux, is a person of interest in the other multiple felonious acts, including the missing children, both now confirmed deceased. Mothers, so Melani Pawlowski, so mothers' media interviews throughout this litigation are filled with conflicting statements from one interview to the next. On or about June 5th, 2020, Ian Pawlowski and Natalie Pawlowski appeared for a hearing on Natalie Pawlowski's petition for the order of protection, which listed their minor children as protected parties. Following the hearing, the 7th Judicial District Madison County Court judge found that reasonable grounds existed to enter a renewed protection order of domestic violence, allowing Ian Pawlowski to only have supervised parenting time contact with his children. Since entry of this renewed protection order, Mr. Pawlowski has had no contact with his children. Okay. And I'm going back to the original document again. Please bear with me. They're all documents that are pieces of documents, not full documents. I know I've said that 100 times now. I'm looking. Okay, so I want to share with you right here. It looks like a official court clipping of the charges against Chad Daybell. And why this is important to share with you guys is to make sure, I have said it in other videos, and I always said I wasn't sure. But here I see it in writing that Chad did get charged with 4 charges. He got charged with, they're all the evidence, destruction, alteration, and/or concealment. They're all those charges. So he got charged 4 times. 2 times for Tylee, 2 times for JJ, I would assume. I might be wrong. Let me look at the dates. No, it looks like 3 times with JJ and 1 with Tylee. Now, what makes the difference? They're all the same charges, except one will be a co-conspirator. So you can have, you can be concealing evidence from law enforcement and not be a co-conspirator. So he's gotten charged twice on his own. And then he's gotten charged twice with the co-conspirator charge. So he actually has 4 charges. And I believe Lori has only 2, the co-conspirator charges. So he has 4. So I would assume, and they're all felony levels, okay? I would assume that he could get charged if what we were told before, that each one holds maybe a 5-year sentence max. That would mean for all 4 charges that if he was found guilty, that he could be sent to prison for 20 years just on the concealment charges. That's, again, I'm not an attorney, but I mean, again, if he got sentenced on all 4, they all hold 5 years as their maximum penalty, then I would suppose that I could be right. And I could be wrong. But anyways, he does have the 4 charges, and Miss Goddess has 2 of the co-conspirators ones with, trying to conceal evidence that she knew that law enforcement was looking for, and that would mean the bodies of her 2 children. She was conspiring to hide their bodies with Chad and with Alex. So I am trying to find the next document. Please have patience. As I said, these are all disjointed on his Facebook page, and he puts other stuff in between them. Okay. He goes ahead and he takes a section of the affidavit from Ron Ball that's for both Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. And I have read those to you in, I think it was Friday morning and Thursday morning. I'm not sure, but you could go back if you wanted to hear the complete affidavit that Ron Ball attesting to why they should have been charged, which the judge honored, and he charged them, and they got arrested, and they both have a $1 million bond with those arrests. And of course, you know that they dropped her previous charges with abandonment and non-support and whatnot on Lori. So right now she has those two charges pending, and that's what she's being held in jail with. Okay, so I'm still looking. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm scrolling through tidbits, looking for if I missed something to tell you. But whether I did or didn't, as I'm scrolling, I'm going to say to you that what this reporter has given us, Justin Lum from Fox 10 Phoenix, is unbelievably eye-awakening. Why? Because she's been denying all of this time that there was even the event. She denied on her interviews on national television stations and shows that she didn't even know of the event. There was no substantiation that the event, well, if the police are investigating Brandon Boudreaux's shooting, that means there's substantiation of the event That means it's just not scuttlebutt, that the world isn't just talking about it. So see how cleverly, how tricky she is with her words. She wants to tell and scam the untrained ear to think that it's questionable, that the event was questionable. How can the event be questionable when the next door neighbor, if I heard the information correctly, saw the Jeep the next door neighbor saw that Jeep that the shot came out of sitting there. The next door neighbor had made a statement that as soon as Brandon had left to bring the 2 older children to school and the 2 younger children to Melani Boudreaux at the time, that Jeep pulled up and it was still there when Brandon got back. So could Brandon be making up that a Jeep with Texas plates that was the same Jeep that Tylee drove that was registered to Charles Vallow because he had bought her that Jeep to drive? Yeah. So Melani Pawlowski, her world is starting to crumble because there is no way that there isn't some substantiation that the event happened. You know, there is no way that she can say to the world, you'll see that they don't get on media anymore. That was all a ruse. When Summer, her, Ian, and Janice Cox, the mother of the evil kids, an evil granddaughter, because Melanie's her granddaughter, when they got on those national television stations, they were only on there to twist, to do the major twisteroos, as they always do. So with that said, as I said before, guys, I probably have missed some information in this, but I'm going to cut this short and I'm going to tell you why. Because we had storms, there are little bugs that are biting me all over and I can't stop itching. They're little no-see-ums, they're called. They're tiny. So I'm going to end this live just because I can't tolerate it. And I'm going to say, as I always do, just based on what I've just said and the new evidence that Justin Lum posted on his Facebook. And I know that Zav Girl did a beautiful job on late Friday night or early Saturday morning. She has a video of it and she does post the documents, probably more documents than I spoke of here. And thank you for my sub who sent me the link. And as I always say, guys, even though it's beautiful, you can see the sun's coming up in Florida. Watch out for the ugly. Don't be taken in by the Melanie and the Janices of the world, because they can very cleverly make you think that everything's okay and that there's nothing. Look at how well rehearsed they were. Look at how many heads started to turn. I'll say it again. The whole world was thinking those kids were killed by their mother, Chad and Alex. When they did their little media blitz and their little PR campaign, there was a lot of people falling for it. They started saying, instead of the kids are dead, well, they might be in a bunker somewhere, or they might be hidden in someone's house like a friend. So they do a beautiful job at distorting the truth. They are the twisted Cox cult, the twisted Daybell cult. So beware, watch out for the ugly, and keep your eyes peeled And if you're like me, keep one ear open at all times.
We don't need no co-religion. We don't need chest of control. No dark reigns upon us. Chad, Lori, leave all kids alone. Hey, Chad, Lori, leave all kids alone. All in all, it's just another lie beyond the veil. All in all, it's just another lie beyond the veil. We don't